Coming up, it's an AFC West rematch. In Week 12, we saw Denver beat LA for the 16th time since 2011. The Chargers now look to split the series, and it's coming up next.
Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week, and we are underway in Southern California. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led by Teddy Bridgewater in his 8th season now in the NFL. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. So, Charles, here we are, Week 17. Both of these teams playing their 16th game of the regular season. And obviously for decades, that was the full season. But as we all know, a little strange, still one more game to go next week.
Yeah, Brandon, I think we're both interested to see how things play out next week because we know their division title wild card spots up for grabs. So those teams, no doubt, they'll be all in. But how would you like to go in front of a team that's 3-13 and say, okay, guys, let's go get them. If we win, it benefits someone else.
And that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. More from L.A. in a moment. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their 38. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And finally out of bounds all the way down around the 2. A big play there for L.A. Pretty good timing. He waited just enough for that post play to develop and laid it right in there.
And you know what a lot of teams do when they decide to throw a post route? Because it's a little bit longer developing play. They max protect. Bring everyone in, keep the tight end in, an extra back to make sure the quarterback has time to deliver the football.
Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball.
And this is caught. He's got a touchdown. A great play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers have taken a first-quarter lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
To throw, Bridgewater. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And he will have a Broncos first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a handoff. This is Gordon. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent. I think they like this drive a little bit better. Their partner running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll run for the first time with the former Bearcat, Mike Boone. Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. And that is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Bridgewater. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Charger drive about to get going. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. These 2 teams getting a couple of late season tilts this year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in week 12. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And a broken tackle could not free him. Taken down right at the 10-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And a quick throw here. That's complete. Touchdown! A great effort there. Touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Chargers lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Rosas good with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. KJ Hamler returning it. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
On 2nd and 9, Bridgewater. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Bridgewater's throw here into the hands of the receiver, Jeudy. 5 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Bridgewater again. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Bridgewater now for Gordon on the draw. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown.
Herbert has it knocked free. It's picked up by the Broncos. 20, 10, 5, and nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. Quite a turn of events. This is 1st and goal from the 3. Bridgewater now after the fumble recovery. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Albert O, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
And trying to atone for it here on this drive. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Here's Herbert. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now a 1st down throw complete downfield. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. A handoff, it's Eckler. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play. Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. PAT up and good by Rosales. And it's now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Jerry Tillery in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now they run from the gun with Gordon. And he's able to get up here to the 26.
It looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. Right? We always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for him. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Chris Jones now as he's on to punt for Denver. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4. The Charger drive about to get going. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now it's Herbert. His throw incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 45 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. First down, and they stick with Eckler. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. Sets up the screen to Gordon. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater. That's going to be caught by Judy. The 40. The 20. Pushes him aside and all the way home for a Broncos score. Jerry Judy, 79 yards. And the Broncos get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. McManus's point after is good, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Charger drive about to get going. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. And he'll find Hall. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half. Hey, Charles, can you give me water? Oh, jeez, Chuck, they cut off the halftime show again. Quicker than anticipated, ready for the start of the second half. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Justin Herbert leading this unit out for their next possession. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Here is Eckler. They find some open field here. 30, past the 20. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Rosas good with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category, but that deserves a couple exclamation points.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates, they're looking at you, and let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to it. That's not how football works, but he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Second down and 3. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Bridgewater to throw it. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, the timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. He dumps it to Eckler underneath. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And his throw's going to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll find Williams on the slant. And the Chargers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
I remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. David Njoku, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken at the goal line. And he's going to be out of bounds on the return. Not a great return. They'll start back around the 17. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Bridgewater's throw taken in here by Patrick. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense, sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
There'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. Play action. It's Herbert. He's airing it out for Williams. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a give running left is Eckler. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
A big game that time for the Chargers. Back to throw here, Herbert. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, LA. David Njoku, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Chargers get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Rosas good with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Garyon Conley. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD.
ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead will swell by one more. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. More from L.A. in a moment. They'll fire one downfield for Fant. And this one is incomplete. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end. That'll bring up 2nd down. To the air again with Bridgewater. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with this third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Bridgewater. He'll get this one to Patrick. And he's got room. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It's a big play there for the Broncos. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Bridgewater. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well?
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Jabari Zuniga drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Charger defense stands tall and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. They started on the ground with Eckler. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And he caught it up. It's picked up by the Broncos. And a return will stop right around the 25. But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Bridgewater now. That's out to the flat for Gordon. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Oh, this looks like a free play for Bridgewater. And this one drops incomplete, but I think the defense jumped. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Here's Bridgewater. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. After the sack on 1st down, Bridgewater nowhere to go here. He lost the football and picked up by the Chargers. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. They're going to snub this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
So that'll back him up 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Herbert. Wide open, it's Allen, complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 137 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen. This O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Bridgewater. Over the middle, complete. It's Gordon. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.